Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with a Disability Policy for All. Today we're going to be talking to Ben Kaufman, who is a sibling, who has a sibling with autism. This month is April is Autism Awareness Month, so it's really appropriate to talk to a sibling of a person with autism, and Ben is also a staff member here at UCD. So welcome, Ben. Thanks for coming in and talking to us about your brother.
Yeah, I'm happy to do so.
First, I'm going to be asking you questions about your brother, just to figure out, just to get to know him, so the audience will get to know him. And then we're going to be talking about policies and how policy affects and helps your family.
Great.
So, can you first tell us about who your brother is and how he is included in the family?
Sure.
In your family.
Absolutely. My brother's name is Aaron. He's 24 years old. He has autism, but I think that's only part of who he is. He is just a really happy and really. He's just a fantastic person to be around. That's really the best way I can describe him. He doesn't talk much, but he certainly communicates in his own way, usually through glances or other means. But we have a really special relationship. Aaron and I have always been there to support each other. My family has always been there to support him, and I think my family wouldn't be the same without Aaron.
Thanks. Earlier you were talking about that Aaron is a twin, but his twin doesn't have autism, and I'm just curious, and I think the audience would be curious, how does that affect the twin that doesn't have autism?
Yeah, I think everybody in our family has, processed Aaron's differences and what he has to go through in a different way. My sister who's my brother's twin, my sister has a very different relationship with Aaron than I do, especially too because, we're a little bit different, we're 3 years apart in age. But, I think she just like any other twin, feels a special bond with Aaron. But I think it just takes a different shape than you would see with two typically developing siblings.
Okay, thank you. You have talked so beautifully about Aaron, but can you tell us a little story about him?
Sure. Well, it's interesting when I was younger, I always played a lot of sports, and Aaron, would get dragged to everything from baseball games to basketball games, anything that I was doing at school. He was always there for me, and he never really complained. But we also didn't really give him much of a choice. And I think it's great to see now as an adult, even though he has trouble asserting himself verbally, he's doing more of what makes him happy and what he wants to do. And so it's really fulfilling for me as an older brother now that he's a Special Olympics athlete. That I'm the one who's going to support him in his games. So the other weekend, he won a silver medal in the state championships for basketball. He's won gold medals in powerlifting for several years now. He's really an incredible athlete, and he's learned a lot. And the smile on his face just makes me driving, an hour or so to watch him play, just so worthwhile. And it's just been, again, like I said, it's been really great because he was always there for me, especially when we were younger. So it's great to be able to return the favor now that he's in a position where he's coming into his own as an individual and as an adult.
That's wonderful. Um, do your brother work? Do Aaron work?
Yes, he does. So he receives support through a community service agency, and they've set him up with several job opportunities that he goes to at varying points throughout the week. So on some days, Aaron's really, really organized and has a great understanding of where things should be and keeping things clean. So he's putting his for a while now been putting his skills to use at a local food bank by helping them organize bags for families that they're going to um, of give food to and organizing the shelves in the food bank itself. And I know he's been a really valuable, a really invaluable part of their staff. I don't. He's not fully employed for wages, but the experience that he's getting is so valuable being out in the community. Because I think other people get to see how talented he is too. I know he's worked a paper route for a local paper and a bunch of other jobs, and then some of the days when he's not working on site, he's learning skills, money skills, computer skills, things that are gonna help him be as independent as possible as an adult. And it's always great when I get little emails from him while he's learning how to use the keyboard, and he sends me an email. And I think it's always a really great thing to have.
Great.
Yeah.
And then the last question about your brother is, what would you see the future be for him?
I just want him to be happy, and I just want him to be. I think that's what you wish for any of your family members, really. For Aaron, I want him to continue figuring out what it is that makes him happy. And I think what's wonderful is that my parents have been so supportive of him really exploring that, again, to the greatest extent possible, because, he does have some challenges in terms of communicating and some behaviors, but, it's great when I see, even though he doesn't talk very much, when I see the flashes of his individual self come through. He loves rap music. He really likes sports. Like I said, he's very organized. So if he can continue to do work in an area where he can use his skills, I just want him to be happy no matter where he's living and no matter what he's doing. And I think he's on the way to getting there.
Okay, great. With the Family Leave Act,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think that the act will help you and your brother? You and your family and your brother.
Yeah, when I think about the Family Medical Leave Act, I just think about inclusion, right? And how it really needs to be more inclusive than it currently is. I think a lot of times siblings get overlooked as part of the family dynamic, but what a lot of folks don't realize, but is pretty intuitive, is that, for my brother at least, it's me and my sister and our step siblings who are going to be around the longest, and we're going to be around the most for him when my parents get to the point where they can no longer take care of him because he lives with them now. And I think, having a more inclusive Family Medical Leave Act will be a huge safety net for me to know that if there's anything I ever need to do to take care of my brother, if I need to be there for an appointment, if I need to help him find housing, if I need to help him work through a situation with a job, that I don't have to worry about, my own life. I don't have to worry about my own job security or money or anything like that. So I think it's just so important from a policy perspective that we shape that law to be inclusive of all family members who can be a source of support for individuals with disabilities.
Thanks. Have I left out anything that you would like to share with the audience about Aaron?
No, I do want to just say, thank you to you and so many other folks who were responsible for pushing the ABLE Act forward. I know it's not in the form that we'd like it to ideally be in, but it's such an important step. I just think about Aaron being able to save money for the future. In order to pursue all those things that I want for him and I think he wants for himself, money is a huge issue. And to know that my wife and I and my parents, we can be part of helping him save money without fear of losing his benefits that he receives, is just, it's such a gift. It's such a gift, especially as someone who I benefited from a 529 college savings plan. And so, again, I just think that it takes so much work on the part of everybody in the advocacy and disability community to make advances like that happen. Just want to let everybody know that those victories are real. They mean something to us who love someone with a disability.
And I do know that Maryland has gone towards the direction of exploring this, the ABLE Act, and what that means to Maryland as a whole, and it won't pass to this session, but hopefully next session they're doing, but at least they have agreed to at least talk about it in committee. So that's very exciting for you and your brother.
Absolutely. Yep. He's been in Maryland his whole life. So I think it's just, like I said, I think it's just such an important conversation, and it wouldn't have even been on the table if not for people like you and all the groups that AUCD and others work with.
Well, thank you. If you have any more questions about policies or anything else we have talked about today, please go to the AUCD webpage and look for this week's In Brief. And if you have any questions or comments about this week's Tuesdays with Liz, please leave them in the space below. Thank you and have a nice day, and I look forward to talking with you next week. Bye.
Thanks, Liz.
Bye.
That was great. Thank you. I think take 2 was much better than take 1.